Okay, everybody, welcome to the Reboot Workshop. I first of all love the name Reboot because it's almost like, it's not almost. I truly believe that we are playing a video game. This whole life is a video game, which you may have heard the analogy many, many, many times, right? That's why I named my book Play, because you get to play with different realities, different potential. And every video game, if you look at what is the person doing, they're just creating the avatar, they're creating the identity, they're creating the plot for the next level and the next level and the next level, right? So, and sometimes the game wouldn't play. The game will get stuck. The game will not go the way it's going. I see my son play on the Xbox and PlayStation 5 or whatever it is, and then I will see, and then what do the kids do? They will reboot it, right? And our computer's not working. What do? We reboot, right? So I just wanted you to take a second to kind of play with this idea and play with this analogy because this is what I'm going to use today. And at the same time, I want to give you a little bit of context as to why you're going to take your valuable 1 hour to sit here, look at me, and what is the value that you're going to get out of it, right? Like an hour of your precious time. What will you walk out from here today? And obviously, you will receive it all differently based on where you're at, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about identity, what you believe about this sort of work, and all of those things, what you believe about transformation, what you believe about your own transformations. But simply put, the only intention that I have today is to be able to give you this one tool that I learned, which was to be able to tap into my theta states. And that enabled me to literally become like upgrade my operating system. Okay. And literally become a little bit more powerful. I would say a lot more powerful because now I started realizing that I can actually create changes way faster because you know that there was a little bit of acceleration in my own journey. Like after a year I literally pumped, pressed the pedal, went hard on because I was able to really use these things that I'm now teaching you. Okay, so there is a lot of depth. If you understand, you can apply this daily. So what you're going to learn today is to literally go through a process which is not 20, just so you know, which is not 20 minutes long. It's not 40 minutes long. It's not even 10 minutes long. It's literally on the snap of your fingers. You feel powerful. You feel like you upgraded your operating system. Does that even excite you guys? Like, do you feel the power that you hold at your fingertips? Who's feeling it? Who's feeling the power? Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. So feeling the power, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna stick to the time. So we started roughly around 11:15 just to kind of gauge the time. Okay. First thing I want to start with was to give you a context that we're going to treat this like, life is a video game. In order for you to play the video game, you've got to have certain operating system. That means there are certain operations that are being installed in your operating system that will allow you to perform a certain way. Okay, whether you're a ninja, whether you're a butterfly, whether you're like, I don't know, the swanky fairy, whether you're this Terminator, I don't know, like there's so many characters you can play, right? Like let's have a little bit of fun with this, right? Because life gets to be fun when we actually allow ourselves and we start believing it can be fun. It doesn't have to be hard. Like we can't always keep operating out of our trauma response. And I think I'm in the season of my life where I'm there and I will consistently remind you because my life was full of operating out of trauma response. And there is a season when we get to stop that and we get to go like, no, I'm actually going into the season where I can be any character and God source universe will support me and it gets to be that light, right? And oftentimes your brain, a lot of us would be actually still feeling rejection. That's not like, what is she talking about? But it gets to be like I've seen those seasons. So give yourself the permission because I still go back sometimes and then I go like, no, it gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. It gets to be easy, right? So now that you get the context, let's talk about why do you want to reboot yourself? Okay, so this workshop that I named Reboot, and you're going to learn how to upgrade or reboot your operating system, because your life right now, if you understand, is a byproduct of what's inside your operating system. Your subconscious is your is your CPU, central processing unit, okay? Whether it's a game, whatever analogy resonates, doesn't, you actually, what do you think? How are you navigating life? Just take a second, guys. How do you think? How do you look at life? How do you get the money? How do you get the relationship? How do you get the success? How do you feel fulfilled? How do you even feel anything? Where is it coming from? We have a mind, right? And we have a heart. And when we have the mind-heart coherence, we go on to the next level, ascension. That's what Dr. Joe Dispenza and many other teachers have taught us. However, if you get the basic principle, there is a mind, which is the operating central processing unit. But the mind has two parts. We all have learned that. I'm still teaching you guys this, because if you missed the quantum leap formula, if anybody is joining here today just for this workshop, or you're going to watch this later, because I know some of you just gotten this workshop, the brain, the mind, which is your central processing unit, has two parts, right? Your conscious and your subconscious. Now, your conscious is only 5%. So there's only so much success you can have with mindset. And that is like the tip of the iceberg. So that is why a lot of people do surface level work. They go to workshops, they go to seminars, they do these 21-day changes. Okay, 21 days probably still good enough to install. But, you know, they'll do these things and then they fall off because it's very surface level. And that's what I don't want for you. That's what I didn't want for me, because when I struggled, I realized I was just doing surface level work, coach to coach, mentor to mentor, never wanted to stay, never wanted to go deep, never wanted to go into the creases of what's inside the shit. What is that's why, right? And when you start questioning why, like, you become the freaking boss. Like, sit with yourself, don't go anywhere else. Really get deep. Because everything that is your life right now is because what's inside this. Like, do you understand the depth of this when I'm sharing this with you? Nobody outside, no coach, no teacher, no system, no process, no method, nobody can change your life unless you really are willing to go inside here and figure out what is inside the CPU. And then not only find out, but also have the ability and have the strength and the courage to go, like, I'm going to fucking reboot this shit, which I have acquired, which is giving me a life that I actually don't want. I'm not saying you don't love your life. Maybe a lot of you do, but you're not exactly living what the life you want, because that's why you're here, right? Am I getting it wrong? You do want something else in your life. So then the gap between where you are right now and where you want to go is this thing in your head, this system, this beliefs, this operating system that is keeping the gap. Now, I want to give you something today that allows you to actually delete this gap and reduce and collapse time, right? And that's where you go, like, you know, I'm actually living my dream life. And I can tell you what, it's simpler than you think. I don't want to see those serious faces. Did you feel the intensity? I literally went on level 1000. Did you feel it? I love it. I can feel it just in hearing your voice. Yes, ready. Hit the delete button. Beautiful. And so the other thing I want to teach you, like, I'm going to go dive right into it. Just please keep a tab. Just keep reminding me of time. You know, I often struggle, you know, but see, we all are creating changes. I'm working on that. But the thing is, like how Galaxy says, yes, ready to hit delete button. But the thing is that I'm not going to spend time, and I'm going to teach you that when we do hypnosis, you know, when I work with privately with clients, you know, whether they want to have more fulfillment, money, doesn't matter, whatever it is, okay? You look at any successful hypnotherapist, change maker, anybody who's actually, even athletes, entrepreneurs, elites, anyone, we don't spend time trying to delete the shit. We spend time because then you are on the path of, let me look deeper, let me go deeper. What else is there? Let me delete, let me delete. No, we don't have to delete. Brittany's smiling because she gets, you work with the subconscious, right? You get what I'm saying. So the thing is, we don't delete. You just literally go and install new pathways, okay? The shedding will happen. the energy of the old beliefs will go away. Yes, you can consciously through the day do that, but what would you put your energy into? I'm not helpless. I'm not helpless. Oh, I'm freaking confident. I can do anything. I'm powerful. Do you see? It's still putting energy. So when we do these sessions, we create, when you're going to do your own session, okay, I'm going to teach you today. You don't focus on what you want to delete. You focus on what you want to install. Simple, clear. What you choose, what's your life, what's your vision, what does the timeline look like, what's the energy, what's the frequency, what's the pulse of the life that you want to live. If you've not nailed it, go back to the formula. You shouldn't be here. Sorry, but you shouldn't be, right? Do you guys get it? Because you can pay me any amount of money, but if you're not going to do the work, who's going to get the results? I care for your results because I actually do, because I see the results and they help me create a new story. Like you want results for your clients, you want results for your own self. So the point I'm trying to make is simple. It's simple. You will install new suggestions when you know the life you want. If you're too busy and you're like, oh, Prachi, I actually didn't have the time, I've been busy, and I will watch the modules and I will get to it. Like, are you freaking kidding yourself? Like, if you don't know right now the timeline you want, the frequency, what does it look like? Maybe you don't want $10,000 a month or $50,000 a month. What you really want is freedom because you've never tasted it. Maybe you don't want the life with ease. What you really want is like the disassociation with struggle. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So you're not after the amount. What you're after is you're after a frequency. Please nail it, because once you nail it, when you do this process, you install it a lot faster, right? And the faster, the clarity is power. This is what I learned from Tony Robbins. Clarity is power. So when I started, look, I wasn't very clear. I could never imagine this. Like when I started, all I wanted to do was not feel anxiety, not feel depressed, not feel stressed in my body when the bills would come. That's where I was at. Like I could not imagine. When you're in survival, you can't imagine thriving. But you're out of there. Maybe some of you are, but maybe you're not there. Like nail the frequency of the life you want, because I'm telling you, it's not a money figure. You're delusioned by thinking that it's a money figure. It's not. It is a pulse. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. It's a consciousness. And that's why it's important. Once you nail it, you will see that you go back to the formula. You'll understand, oh, my identity is actually the one who's always operating in ease, or, struggles come, but I don't actually give it a reaction. Like those are the things. It's not like, oh, I make 10K a month. I make 10K a month. Then you become a robot and you miss the vibration, the pulse of it, right? Again, went on a tangent, but you get it, because sometimes, the tangents are the things you need to hear. And I will consistently remind you of those, right? By the way, Nicole's here. Hi, Nicole. I didn't see you were here. All right. Now let's go back to the workshop. Okay, I'm going to have a sip of water. It's quite a warm day. And okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I put some notes so I don't forget anything. Theta states. In order for you to Now you understand why it's so important. I think the first few minutes was to make you understand why you're going to do this, why you're taking 1 hour, and why you're going to do this every damn day, because this is how you're going to live now. Because that's something you were born with. This is not artificial. This is not synthetic. This is nothing. This is not artificial intelligence. This is God-given intelligence that you were born with. I'm going to teach you today how to tap into it. That's all I'm doing. You were born with this. Can you believe it? Your subconscious, your system, which is connected to the whole field. So the first thing you want to know is there are many, many different kind of brain waves. In order for you to reboot, in order for you to change this operating system, and I'm going to take a second to help you understand why, again, you need to change this, because your life, your reality, including everything, how your body is, whether your body is hurting or in pain, whether you need healing or you feel healed or whole, the money or the lack of it, the stress and anxiety or the lack of it, the presence of it, your business and the level at which you feel it's contracting or expanding, all of it. This is literally the mirror that's showing you Okay, all of that external reality is showing you what's in the operating system. It's that simple. If you saw your life, again, going back to the formula, but you see everything right now, I want you to sit down right now, okay? This is confronting. You don't need to type anything. How many of you feel abundant with the money? Look at your bank account, okay? Do you have anxiety attached to it? Or do you have, I'm good, like good, just good. That's it. Like you don't have time or energy, like it's just flowing, your being, you know? Look at your parenting. Because I when I talk about the bank account, why it's important is because I remember there was a time when I would go and pay and I would just pray that there's enough. Sometimes I wouldn't check, you don't go to the banking app every time to tap. And there are times when my cards would decline. So I had built this trauma and this wounding around that. Oh my God, I hope this goes. I hope those. Has anybody ever been there? And I hope you've not been there. That's all right. So, and then it was like, oh, I want to make a $20,000 payment. Is there enough? There will always be seasons in your life where the amount changes, but the programming doesn't, the belief doesn't. Okay. So you got to tap into that. So I don't know why I keep forgetting today what I'm saying. This is so weird. But in order for you to change these systems, whatever you're seeing on the screen, here's what you're going to do today. You're going to sit down, you're going to look at, is my bank account, what am I feeling? Am I exactly in the reality? Or you want to be in the reality where you have notifications every day. First you're excited, then you're like, yeah, this is my normal. Like brushing your teeth, right? And then look at your parenting. Are you stressed or you're struggling with your children? And that will always be the case as the seasons and the ebb and flow happen. Like my son is now 12, so we're experiencing different things with him. At the same time, we're learning new tools. And so, but what's the reality? Do you have wounded relationship with your parents, with your partners, right? And again, don't go into judgment, please, because we're all human. But this right here, and I can feel everyone's guts contracting. I'm tapped into the energy. Breathe into your solar plexus, because we make it about our will. We make it about our identity, and it's all connected to this I will and I am here. So just change that and breathe into it, this discomfort. But why I'm inviting you to do this, because if we don't get real with ourselves and we hear like, he did this, she did this, that happened, this happened, you're not really taking charge and control. And you may like this or you may not like this, and you'll be like, she told us this is a reboot workshop and she's actually asking me to look deep inside. What is this? Like, I did sign up for this. It's okay. I know you didn't, but there's a reason why. Because till you don't meet yourself, no amount of work you do will allow you to meet the money, the relationship, the fulfillment, the freedom, the life that you ultimately want. Breathe it out with me. Breathe in and breathe out. I love what Faye's written. Faye says, this is true quantum healing, not digging up past forever, right? Like timelines exist, future, future, future. So now that you understand, you want to create change, first thing I want you to know is that in order for us to create change, we must understand our operating system, which is our mind, has different waves, okay? So we cannot create change in these brain waves. So when you're in the brainwave beta is all about, right now you're in beta, you're conscious, you're listening, you're active, right? So you cannot create change. What's happening? Can you guys not hear me? Okay. You can hear me, everybody, right? So beta, we cannot create change. You are very active, you're alert, you're listening, right? So it is all about the doing state. Why is my camera? Okay. The second state is alpha. So alpha is when you're a little dropped in, when you meditate a little bit, or you take a few deep breaths, okay? You start getting into alpha, where you're tapped in. You're most creative when you're in your alpha. And a lot of artists, right, live in the alpha state. They're not super stressed, nothing. Artists love to live. Like I love living in alpha state, which is basically you're kind of fluid, you're not very rigid, solid, and like you're dropped in and you're in the creativity mode, that's alpha. So when you take a few breaths, you sit down through the day, you sit on a chair, you take 5 deep breaths, you've dropped into alpha. Your brain waves are slower. It's like, I think 7 to 11 or 12 hertz, okay? That's a good place to actually start talking to yourself and all. But change happens in the next brain wave, which is called theta brain waves. Theta brain waves are slower, 4 to 7 hertz roughly. Okay, that's the state where your conscious brain is not engaged, it's shut off, your conscious gateway. Your gateway, your conscious mind right now is listening. It is a gateway. You will either receive information or not. You will reject or not. But when you're in theta brain waves, you can literally shut this, and then you have access to your whole subconscious, which is your operating system, which then you're going to reboot, okay, which you're going to learn in the next few minutes. And after theta brainwaves is delta and gamma, okay? And so when you're sleeping, all those deep changes happen, delta, gamma, go further to understand those, but we're not here to talk about those. I just wanted to give you a kind of context that your brain is a miraculous organ and your whole life can be changed by just understanding that your brain has these waves, right? You can access. Now, you don't have to access it at night. That's why I said do reprogramming at night. Put the reprogramming on. Your brain is listening all the time. That's why it's the part of the formula, right? How many of you are doing that? How many of you are reprogramming yourself through the night? Beautiful. Keep doing that. I still do it. It doesn't stop. Never stops. You feed your brain what you want. It doesn't stop ever. It's not like, oh, now I made $1 million. Now I can't do this. If I made this, I can't do this. I'm happy now. I'm not depressed. I can't. No. What's the next version? Feed it, because your brain is always taking information, right? That's how you create the life you want. So now you get why you want to get into the theta state, okay? To be able to reboot, which means your conscious gateway, your conscious mind is not in control. It's not the boss anymore. It's shut off. You're in the slower brain waves where your subconscious mind can be accessed and your operating system. And this is where you're going to put new impressions, new affirmations, and new suggestions to your subconscious brain, your operating system. Why you also want to get in there, because once I teach you this today, the reason you want to get into theta, yes, you want to upgrade. Yes, you want to, you can get hypnotherapy, you can do all those things. But if you understand, when you get into the theta brain waves, theta state, you get into the part of your brain that is the subconscious, but that is also the quantum mind that is attached scientifically to the whole field, okay? And this is also attached to the part of your brain that holds memories from your childhood. Okay? Everything you've ever experienced is stored here, apart from in your body, but your body is your subconscious. Do you understand? Your nervous system is calibrated to everything that's here. So for a person like me or anyone who had childhood trauma, your body remembers that because your subconscious is now registered abandonment. If anyone has lost a parent or anything, or you had a wound, because all of us have different stories, right? So I lost my mom when I was very young, and that created an abandonment wound for me. So that my operating system became around abandonment. Okay, so you will be surprised that this thing registers everything. Now your story may be different, but you have had experiences that are now stored like information, and your subconscious is there to protect you. Stored, this happens. Oh, okay, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe you were bullied in school and somebody said to you, you're not good enough. And now that is stored, and you will unconsciously run the patterns. I'm not good enough to make money. I'm not good enough to be successful. I'm not good enough to be like the person I want to be. I'm not good enough for this timeline. You don't even realize it's happening because it's the operating system. So we're going to nail this shit. But how can we nail if we don't know what's inside this, right? Because some of you are very self-aware, so you understand. But a lot of us aren't. When I started my journey, I wasn't. And so everything would be outside. Oh, this is not happening. That's not happening. They're not doing this. They're not doing this. But when you realize that they are reflecting what's inside my brain, then you learn to change it. So when we get into the theta brain waves, you can then ask yourself questions, and you will get answers from your subconscious mind, from past memories, from the childhood versions, from things you didn't know that are inside you, and now you freaking change them. Okay, so we don't get just to theta states to just put, oh, I'm wealthy, I'm making money, I get money every day. That's all fine. But if you really want to like do it on a core fundamental level where it's like what went wrong in this operating system when I was 6, when I was 8, when I was 10, when I was 12, generally your operating system is so you're born with a clean blank slate. Then from the age of 0 to 6, up to the age of 8 as well, Dr. Bruce Lipton says, so if you've looked into his work, where your core programming is formed. So based on how your caregivers gave you attention, who gave you attention, what you saw, did you see your parents fighting over money, or they were stressed, or they were like really supportive and you felt supported, all those programmings and the movies you watched, the community, the society, everything you witnessed helped you form beliefs, conscious and unconscious, right? And so what begins to then happen? You've done this, the beliefs are there. Now, I am not aware of some beliefs. I don't remember when I was 6, somebody did something that I made a meaning of, and then I installed this, that it is hard, or, it's really hard, relationships are really hard, or I don't know, like whatever it is, right? So it is important that today you learn that every day, if you can sit 2 minutes and get into theta states and ask yourself questions, you will get answers that you did not know existed that are blocking you from the blessings that exist for you right now. Do you understand now how important it is to actually do this? Because I promise you, I will never offer you guys and teach you shit that does not matter just because it's in the coaching industry or it's in the field. I will always offer you that something that has changed my life and there's so much value in it. Because we don't have time to fool around. Life's too short. We just want to go and see what creates the change and go and get our desired results, right? So now I want you to teach the process, but I want you to ask any questions in the chat if you have any before I actually teach you how to get into the theta states and then how to ask questions and then obviously reprogram yourself, right? Who's excited? Get into I don't know why my lights here. Okay. Get into theta every morning during meditation. That's beautiful. That is one of the top ways to actually get into theta brainwaves as well, right? And I was going to share that. So the faster, a lot of people, these are the ways people access, right? And I've taught you guys all of this in the lead formula as well. And so either they will do meditation. So if you sit in meditation 5 minutes, you literally drop into alpha and theta. If it's a little deeper, it's theta, theta brainwaves. And so, or you can work with a practitioner, right? Breathwork, theta practitioner, RTT, hypnotherapist, right? All sorts of people, right? So I do quantum activations and I do healings. And so it's really about getting that somebody can drop you into that state. So that's one option. Meditation is the fastest way, of course, but I'm going to teach you something that's non-meditation. It takes within seconds, and it's going to really like make you so powerful through the day. Multiple times you can do this. You will literally be shocked if you really do this for multiple times through the day, 7 days. I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to like experience after this. Beautiful. Okay. So I'll teach you the process now. What I want you to know is that as you do this, you can do this in the morning. Just make sure when you do this practice, you're not driving and you're not behind a steering wheel, or you don't have to carry something, because you're going to literally shut off your eyes, or you're going to drop into your consciousness. You can't be doing anything that needs your attention. This is a freaking big disclaimer. I know you guys are wise enough to know that. Always in a safe environment where it doesn't need your conscious attention, okay? So you can't be like, I was in the car and I was going to pick up the kids and I decided to drop it into theta brainwaves. Doesn't work like this. You could be parked and then do it. That's a choice, but really be aware of it, right? So sorry guys, it's just a hot day and I think my mouth's getting very dry today. In order for us to axis theta, our body has to relax before the brain relaxes. Okay, so whenever, whether it's theta or anything, you'll know that your body has to first relax for your mind to relax. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit down in a safe environment, okay? And you're going to basically close your eyes, okay? And if you want, you can do it right now with me. Like you can just learn this process and you can direct this on yourself. What you're going to do is you're going to sit down and you're going to close your eyes. You're just going to drop in. I just want you to take a moment, drop in. And drop in really means that you're dropped in. Disconnect completely from the space that you're in, your room, anything outside, external environment. I want you to take your full consciousness within you, that space inside of your body now. Just drop in. And from that place, I want you to take 5 deep breaths, slowly and easily. Start with 1. Take a deep breath into your body, naturally, slowly. And you're going to take a big breath out. You can even sigh out if you like. And let the breath build its own course. There is no rush. You want the breath to really slow down. With every breath, you will feel you're dropping in more and more. And this is what you're going to train yourself to believe, that I'm dropping in. Every breath is us creating that nourishment within you. And you're going to take 2 more rounds. And now what you're going to do is you're going to visualize a ball of white light inside your chest. That ball, that is not your body, but that is you. So, okay, so the ball is your consciousness, and that is inside your chest. And you're literally going to feel this ball. That is all of your consciousness inside your chest. And what we're going to do now is you're going to let this ball gather all of your body's consciousness as it moves into any part of your body. Wherever it goes, this ball of white light gathers the consciousness of that body area, of that body part. So you're going to let this white ball in your chest move down into your sacrum, into your pelvis, and gather all the held consciousness into this white light, white ball. That is your consciousness. And then it's going to go down into your root, into your hips. Let this white light gather every bit of consciousness that is actually inside your root. It's going to go down into your legs, gathering all your consciousness into your knees, into your lower legs, shins, ankles, feet. And it's slowly, slowly, slowly going to go down from your feet, go down deep into the earth. And let this ball of white light gather all your consciousness and go down several feet down into the earth. Really, 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 really deep into the earth. And then it goes down and there's a massive rock in the middle of the earth, in the center of the earth. And you find yourself having this infinite white cord running through your body. You take one end of the cord and you tie it around the rock and you make a big knot and you tighten the knot. This is the safety and the security of the earth that you're not tying yourself to. And this infinite white light cord is now within you. Now you take this ball of white light and it begins to move backwards through your feet, into your ankles, into your knees, into your lower legs, into your pelvis, your sacrum, and it comes all the way back into your chest. And allow all of this consciousness to move through your throat, through your heart space, your throat, your third eye, the crown of your head. And then it moves upwards through the crown all the way up, vertically higher and higher and higher and higher, going into the higher realms. And it's making you really, 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 really deeply, deeply relaxed. And this ball of white light is going all the way up. And there begins to be this white bluish light now, a big vortex of energy. Your white light ball is meeting it. And at the same time, your white light ball begins to move horizontally now. You've been moving vertically, and now it expands and it expands and it expands. And at this moment, you're fully in theta states. In this moment, if you ask yourself any question about your childhood, you will get the exact answer that is in your subconscious. At this point, you can answer this for yourself, fully just becoming aware. You don't have to share it. What is my favorite childhood memory? Stay with your breath and receive the information. What is the first time I felt lack in my life? Let the memory come to you. You can also give a suggestion to release it. Now you can, at any point, just snap out. Or you can slowly come back into your body. So when you're doing this, you can take a few moments and wiggle your toes or your fingers and stuff like that. So there was just one way. But what it does is it starts actually taking you. So this process I did slowly, but you can tap in and you can take less than 2 minutes and I really do this. And you will start getting answers because when you ask yourself, what was the first time I had lack and I felt lack, you would have gotten memories of exactly the time, the first time you experienced, and then you made a meaning, and then you formed a story, and that story is not yours. This is an illusion. You acquired it, and now it's like you have a choice to delete it, change it, and put a new story. So this is really significant if you understand, and you can start doing this multiple times through the day, right? And while you can get the answers, the idea is not to know where you felt scarcity the first time. It's like, okay, well, this is what it is. I'm going to put a new programming. And then you go on the path of creating new beliefs, right? This is not true. And then you put beliefs around abundance or relationships or anything or success. The other very fast way, this is my first personal favorite. Okay, what I do is, so this is one way. There's another way for people who are like me, who don't have the patience for the first one. My favorite way is I sit down and I basically open, like, so I gaze at the ceiling. Okay, this is a way we do it in hypnosis as well. So you gaze at the ceiling, you look at a point, and from there you take one breath in and one breath out. And you keep gazing at the ceiling, but you close your eyelids and your eyeballs then roll backwards and upwards in your eye socket. Allow your eyeballs to roll backwards and upwards into the eye sockets, making you feel really, really relaxed. And you're going to count from 5 to 1 and fully drop into a theta state. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Snap your fingers and fully fall back into trance, into sleep, into theta brain. And stay with your breath. At this point, you can tell yourself again and again, as I allow my eyes to roll backwards and upwards, I am going deeper and deeper into trance. I'm going deeper and deeper into theta. Deeper and deeper. While you're here, I want you to give yourself a suggestion. Okay, so when you don't have the time to go through this 2 minutes and 5 minutes every day, you're going to actually train yourself to go into a trigger. And the moment you learn this trigger, you're going to be able to drop into this state really fast. So as you're in the theta brain state right now, I want you to create a trigger for yourself that you teach yourself that every time I do this, I will instantly, intentionally, if I do this, I will access theta states. So right now you're here. For me, it's like bringing my thumb and, I just obviously click my fingers and I say, the moment I do this, I access my theta states. So you can do that the moment I bring my thumb and my index finger together in Jnana Mudra. It could be anything, guys. I'm just giving you an example. So set one for yourself. It's a trigger. Right now, when you're in theta state and you give yourself a trigger, next time when you do the trigger intentionally, your subconscious now knows that this means I need to access theta states. So that is bypassing all of that and literally dropping in. So you can choose that the moment I click my fingers, I'm accessing theta state. So create a trigger right now and install it as you're in theta brainwaves. Next time you want to go into theta and reprogram yourself, you will literally use the trigger. If you don't want to use the long process, the first one or the second one, you can literally use the trigger. So the trigger allows you to access theta states within seconds. And this is really important when you want answers. You want answers in your programs. You want to answer, do you want to invest with this mentor? Do you want to invest in this relationship? Is this the right person? And do I want to do I want to work with this client? What is my new offer? Is this the right offer for me? If you start doing this, you will come from a place of tapped in, tuned in spirit and high intelligence. So use this. Now I'm going to get you guys to learn how to snap out. So you can literally start counting backwards, 5 to 1. Every time you count 5, 4, 3, come back to your awareness, to your physical body, tuning out of it. 2, 1, 0, snap your fingers, snap out, coming back to your physical body. It is very simple. Make sure you learn how to snap out of theta as well. And you will already feel a deep sense of calm. Some of you don't want to even talk. You're like, bye. You're so relaxed. Okay. Wow, I got a lot of childhood memories when I asked myself. That's beautiful. So I'll tell you what, guys, like before I learned this stuff, so my sister is a theta practitioner, so the master theta, and I've worked a lot with her on my wounds and like struggles and stuff, and so I was able to go a lot through theta healing as well. And the things that I discovered so much, and so I really did invest a lot of time, but at the same time, once I learned these techniques, because look, we do want to do the healing work, we do want to go deeper, but there are times that we don't want to go on the roller coaster of spending like 5 hours every week just trying to heal and heal and heal, because there will always stuff that will come up. And I'm not against any sort of healing. Like I myself, offer this to my private clients and stuff. But what I want to do is empower you that you can have small pockets in the day where you can create healing, expansion, ascension, plug into higher frequencies, and really get out of the old operating system with the snap of your finger. And some of you would be like, is it that easy? It is, if you believe it is, because change happens with intention and then action and then knowing where you're going. And literally, if you kept dropping into theta brainwaves, if you keep upgrading, rebooting your operating system intentionally, and the way with this stuff that I've taught you, this is like foolproof. There is no other way. You're not going to fail. Unless you choose to and you put up freaking programming and there's a belief system around like, oh, no matter what I do, I fail. The first thing is to today go and delete that. Delete that by replacing it. How would that be that every action I take is the right action? Every decision I make is the right. I don't care if it's right or wrong because I've taken it. It's the right one. How would that feel? That's the level of personal power. I didn't have that. I had to learn from my mentors, because I learned this from one of my mentors, Katrina Root. Like, doesn't matter, because we spend so much time not moving. Is this right? Is this right? Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I work with her? Should I do this? Do I move in this direction? And oh my God, that slows us down. And how would that belief be if you reprogram yourself to every decision I make is the right decision just because I've decided. I will deal with the implications, the effects. This is the direction I'm taking. That's the level of personal power you want, and that's the level of rebooting you want, because now you're dead serious. Like, do you guys feel it? We're not here to waste our time. We're doing this shit. Tapping into the highest timelines is easy, beautiful. This is awesome. You are right. Oh my God. Yes, I love this. Thank you. How do you suggest in theta? Okay, this is beautiful. Thanks for asking, Brittany. So what you do is once you're in theta states, so A, you can ask yourself questions, right? So you got an example of it, what to do when you're in theta states. Second would be before you get into it, there are two options, okay? So I would write down or basically you kind of know what suggestion you want to give. So say you want to upgrade yourself on money today, or the second thing would be success or love or healing. You want to know what belief you're installing. Okay, so say you want to install the belief things come to me with ease. So you get into the theta states, you know what you want to install. So once you're there, you are now also telling yourself that you know that one belief. Don't try with multiple, because you're learning this stuff now. When I get there, I just know a couple of things that are my standard and I just speak them. But when you're new, just take one belief. Okay, because you're not conscious, you're unconscious. But if you program yourself to go like, this is what I'm going to tell myself, and reprogram. So when you're in the theta states, you will still have a level of consciousness. You're still awake. You're still conscious. You're in trance. That doesn't mean you've lost. You can snap out of it. But you know that I'm going to give myself the suggestion. So when you're in theta, you simply go like, now I attract everything with ease. My life is filled with ease. My mere existence oozes ease. Everything in my life is with ease. My relationship, ease. Money, ease. Everything is. Love for self is ease. My reality is filled with ease. What does not feel ease, I now no longer become available to it. I allow all the forces of the universe to actually delete it. So you see, like, I just freaking get in the flow. Like, I don't need a script. But whatever feels true to you, I don't want to give you a script. However, I will give you a script if you're coming to the quantum activation facilitator certification, because a lot of you are. If you want to learn this professionally and not only do it for yourself and teach your clients, what is happening this weekend? And I know a lot of you are in. I'm excited because I am teaching you a 2-day certification, quantum activation facilitator certification, where you learn how to do this, what suggestions to give, so you can heal your clients, you can heal yourself, you can, it's literally hypnosis. But what you're learning in quantum activation is also how to access the quantum field and give them options. Where somebody has addiction, okay, and they have depression and anxiety, and you take them through the process and you will show them the multiple realities that exist, and then they choose the healed one where they are completely healed. They disassociate with alcohol or the substance they abused by and they are plugged into a lot of wealth. Now you learn how to do this, and then you're going to do this and you're going to get paid for it, and you're going to love your life even more. So this is an option if you want to go deeper into this and you want to have a business, or you already have a business and you want to kind of add a skill to it. But even for yourself, like, listen, if you don't have a business, you can still learn this, because I've had people learn this and just work with their families and stuff, right? Creating the generational scarcity programming and everything that's been installed. But like, to give you an example, okay? So the machines now, we're so advanced, right? ECG. ECG is picking the pulse of, everything in your body. And so same thing is EEG. There's a machine which actually they put, and your brain is an electrical unit. Your brain has thoughts that are electric. When they put EEG, they actually see where every time you're having a thought, it's a frequency. That's a device that can actually pick your frequency. So the more you understand this is science, and literally it doesn't have to be complicated, which means that can you learn a skill where you're not sitting with the EEG, you're not doing that, but you're literally sitting and you're telling your clients, I'm actually going to now teleport you into a new frequency, and your clients are suffering, your clients are you or whatever it is. Okay, I don't care. At the end of the day, the suffering is the problem and we're here to delete it. So when I was suffering with anxiety, or the people that I've helped with, like addiction, scarcity, everything is a freaking choice, basically. Abuse. We're abused by scarcity. We're abused by lack. We're abused by alcohol. We're abused by, trauma. Everything is just that we don't know there's a better way and we can't plug in. So when you take your people through this process, or you go through this process, you tell your brain, your operating system, hang on, we've been operating on the wrong operating system. There is a whole new operating system. What do you think wealthy people do? What do you think healthy people do? What do you think people who were not once fulfilled suddenly start feeling fulfilled because they change the beliefs around a life they want to live? And same is available to clients. And healing. EEG is now being used for healing because there is a version of them plugging into a version that is unhealed. When you use quantum activation, or when you do any healing, a healer never heals a person. How many of you gone to healers? How many of you are healers? Like, when you come to the bougie and abundant mastermind, like this is what I want to teach you guys in your business. Look at your business, right? Specifically your business. But here's what I want to tell you. A healer never heals anyone. A healer, I am a frequency, okay? I'm plugged in. That's why a healer has to be a certain frequency. If you're going to be a transformational entrepreneur, a transformational person, you got to look at your own frequency. If you're not embodied, people will feel it, right? And so when you're offering, a healer never offers healing. I offer you a frequency that is a representation of that healing that you're seeking. And I give you that, and you plug into it or not, that is your choice. Do you see? That's what's happening. So a healer, you will never see good healers, teachers, mentors, people who really actually do it with service say, I heal this person. No, I didn't heal shit. I've helped thousands of people now. I've been playing with meditation, even when I was a yoga teacher, when I was healing, I've played with healing for 2 decades now. And I never ever said I healed this person. Maybe when in my, my lack of awareness, I would have in the initial years. I offer as a healer, as a light worker, as a transformator, even when you're doing, I really want to plug into Galaxy for a moment, okay? Sorry, not putting you on a spot. You work with clients. Why do people want to pay you and get your, their wedding photographs and stuff? You get them a frequency. You offer them not photographs. You offer them something that they can imagine, and then you translate it into reality. Like, it's a frequency. So the same thing healer does. When you understand that you're not healing anyone. You as a healer, as a mentor, as a teacher, as the person who embodies, you're offering them a frequency that is a resonance of the healing they desire. Now, when you take them through the quantum activation, you're going to show them all the parallel realities, because that's the script I'm going to teach you, right? So again, going on a tangent, just wanted to keep it simple, but you understand. So to answer your question, Brittany, once you're in it, you literally go with one suggestion and you keep repeating it, because your brain, your subconscious is very malleable, very open right now in theta state, right? There are no gateways. Your conscious brain's not going like, to give you an example, okay? So for example, if you believe I'm very good looking, okay? And so you're trying to have this belief. So you had low confidence, like all my life I struggled. I felt like I was not enough, okay? And so no matter what I had, I was never good enough. And so when you're trying to say to yourself, I'm good looking, and your brain just goes. So if you try to do it on the conscious way and affirm, that's why affirmations just don't work by themselves, because your brain will go like, no, bitch, you're not. No, dude, what are you saying? We don't believe this. Because there is a unmatch, right? There's this disharmony. There's like the operating system somewhere in your childhood you picked, I'm not enough, and you're operating on that. So you always feel this lack, you feel like lack of confidence, not feeling good, all of those. And then you keep sitting going like, but I'm actually good looking, I'm good looking, I'm good looking. Your brain's going, no, we're not. No, we're not. What do we do in that? We can't create change on the outside. We got to go create change on the operating system, right? Beliefs, then comes your, from the beliefs comes thoughts. Thoughts never come from anything. Thoughts come from your operating system, your consciousness. So if your thoughts, you change the belief system, the operating system, then you'll get the thoughts that are a byproduct of that. And the thoughts will then get you to move in that action. What are people doing? What is everybody doing? People, not us, not the leap community. Let's talk about other people for a second. They're trying to hustle, they're trying to change the action, they're trying to change the external, and then they get disappointed and demotivated, they get tired. So what we don't want to do is we want to learn from our own mistakes and go like, I'm not nailing the actions, I'm going straight to this. That's how we collapse time. We change this, and now the beliefs are changed. So the thoughts are a byproduct. The thoughts, your mind doesn't create thoughts. Do you guys know? It comes from your consciousness. There's a whole freaking research on it. Go look up where are your thoughts coming from. So that is all coming from your operating system, which is literally equals to your consciousness. Okay. So I'm going to keep it simple because I can go on for hours, right? And you will not get bored. I know that as well. What a match we are. But hey, Mel, so good to see you. So, do you guys have any questions other than what Brittany asked? And I hope that answered. You can also make a recording. Okay, I used to do that initially. Now I don't. When I started couple of years back, so I would get myself into the state, and it's almost like self-hypnosis, to be honest. And I would, because that's not the healing part, that's not the quantum activation part where, you go into the void, into the realm, and you look parallel realities. That's when you are able to plug in, and then you can plug into the wealthy, the happy, the fulfilled version of you. But that's a whole different game. When you're in theta state, you can, before that, like make a little, you're talking, you're on a rampage. I love going out when I'm on a walk, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that. And you go into the theta waves, and then you just, kind of press it as you go. Take a little pause before, as so when you're recording, you just keep a minute empty. And then so in the time you process that, you drop in, and then your recording starts playing. So your brain is absorbing that. There's so many ways to play, get creative. And like, honestly, transformation is not that hard. I was on the path for 18 years, and I thought it's a big monster. And you keep going and you keep going and you keep on, like, let's just get off the hamster wheel. Like, we are enough. My core message always, I always bring you back to the messages like, you're not trying to fix yourself. There's nothing wrong in the right now, in the moment. You are whole, you were born whole. We're just trying to get off the energy and the operating system that is not yours. You didn't intentionally create it. Maybe it was passed on, whatever happened, but now you're just intentionally creating, and you're still not fixing anything. You're just becoming more of you. How beautiful is that? How powerful is that? Love this for years. People came to me in corporate because of my mother-like nurturing frequency, and now clients have built my business. That's beautiful, Faye. Straight fire. um, Okay, how does this process compare to doing Rampage daily and programming? Okay, so this is a great question, Galaxy, because when you're doing the Rampage, you're walking or you're sitting or you're even listening to it, you're not in theta state, you're actually in beta state, okay? Because the moment you're awake, right now you're in beta state. So what happens with beta state is your brain, your conscious brain is alert, your gateway is alert. You can't bypass anything right now. You can choose not to listen to me, get off the call. That's your beta state. You are conscious, your conscious mind will tell you this is bullshit, or that's bullshit, or this is good, this is not. You're identifying, and then you're allowing, right? And anytime you're listening, it's going in your subconscious. However, when you are relaxed and then you listen, now they're sinking in. Now your conscious mind is off. Your subconscious is malleable. It's more impressionable. It's in a frequency that it can accept. So theta is 4 to 7. That's where it's accepting. But if you are in, higher frequencies, your brain cannot absorb it like the way it does in theta. That's the main difference. That's why it's important that if you can drop in and then play the Rampage, I mean, Rampage would still go. I love listening to the Rampage. You're still, anything that is still taking you to the beliefs that support your desired outcome, bring them on. Do anything. Like, go crazy. But I also know, look, why I do tell you these things is because sometimes we can get consumed and we forget that it just has to be snap of the fingers. It doesn't have to be, I work with a lot of high potential, entrepreneurs and stuff. They don't have time. They don't have time to rewire themselves 6 hours through the day. And does that mean you have more time? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a choice. And then you will hit a point where it's like, I don't want to do this all the time. It started with it. And then you start snapping your fingers. That's where you go like it's easy because now you're accepting yourself to a standard that the moment I snap my fingers, I tell myself a new belief system, my life is a true reflection of it. That is the next level of power. Starting with the formula was first. I still live by it. I still do it. But the ways then become more effective, more juicy, more like short and sweet to the point, right? Does that land for you? Yeah. It doesn't have to be hard. That's the biggest thing I learned, Mel. When I wanted to create a 6-figure business, when I had nothing and I was this healer and then COVID had happened and I was like, okay, well, people are doing this online. And so for the first year, like, even though I nailed it after the 12 months and, cracked the code for 6 figures, it was like all through the journey, who are you being in the journey? Because I kept thinking, oh my God, it's hard, how they're doing this. Oh, this is a storyline that I have now collapsed. It was just a storyline. And we start believing it's hard, it's hard. And then I met a few of my mentors and the ease they provided. And that's what I want to provide you. Because when you say it's hard, it's a belief that it's hard, you will get evidence of it. But when we start saying, no matter what, it gets to be easy, it gets to be easy. We're not after easy, we're after ease filled. It's a different frequency. I am open for challenges. Expand me any fucking day. I am on. That's what I thrive on now. This is what people do. Winners like you're not losers. You've handled shit. You know how to do it. You're not here for the easy. You're here for ease filled. It's a different thing. You're like, bring on the challenge, expand me. I want to go on the edges of my potential, but don't tell me like, oh, just like, we're not like, to be honest, I wanted to say something, but I don't. I'm also very mindful of my language here. But like, seriously, we don't want to be those pussies, to be honest, where it's like, oh, I just want to have a life with ease. Yeah, ease is good. Don't give me easy. I want to taste my potential. So do you think I don't have problems at this stage? I do. But the mindset that it gets to be ease filled, everything with ease, millions with ease, clients with ease, business grows with ease, relationship with ease. And wherever I know that there is no ease in my life right now, I do the same thing as you. Why the fuck do I not have ease? Why am I repeating patterns? What is the pattern? What is the pattern? If I don't know the pattern, how am I going to ever change it? So then get into the theta, ask the questions, do this, and then you become like your own boss, like you're this machine, you don't stop, right? And so you guys are funny. All right. Let's get off this call. If you don't have any more questions, we're going to put the recording. There is a special disclaimer to anyone. If you have considered, I know a lot of you are already in, I'm excited. This training is on the 24th and the 25th. Look, it's my sincere request to you. I don't care about you getting a certificate or not getting a certificate. If you want to learn, if this has been of value and you really want to transform your life, you want to help your mother, your father, they have things, you want to teach your children new things, you literally want to put a winner elite mindset in your children, in yourself, like, come to the quantum activation facilitator certification. Not only will you get certified, not only will you know how to take your business to the next level, and not only would you learn how to take your current business and integrate this, but like, even if you were starting a business or not starting a business, it's a game changer. Like, honestly, if you're feeling the vibe, definitely jump on. This has been so great. Any more questions? Okay, will the mastermind start in the same FB group or new one? So if you're talking about the bougie and abundant light worker mastermind, I love the name. And thank you for everybody who's messaged me and said, You come up with the best names. This is so beautiful. Thank you. Right. Again, tapped in, turned on. I don't go with what the industry does. I really like this is one thing you will learn in the mastermind. You're going to learn to create your personal brand based on who you are. When you want to come like in the messy bun, like a mom, do that. You are going to speak to your soul aligned clients. Literally, why do you guys like me? Have you ever wondered? Why do you want to come and pay me on repeat? What is about me? There is something you like about me. And when you nail that about you and you stop pretending I've got my shit and I've made this much and this is who I am and this is the transformation and this and that, and you really show your real self, because I'm funny. I talk too fast. For years, I was like, oh my God, I'm not the best speaker. And, like, I need to learn articulation. And I was like, no, I can't. This is who I am. But because I've given myself permission, you guys thrive on it. You like giggle. You're like, she's nonstop. But you love that. Authenticity is what sells. It's the highest frequency. That's what you're learning inside that mastermind. Of course, I'm going to look at your business. I'm going to look at everything, strategy. So you get, that's how you get to thrive. Do you think pattern ever leaves or changes as we grow and expand? Um, I love you. You are yourself in your own lane, yeah. And you got to put your blinders on, right? Like that's again, okay, going on a different tangent. You're going to learn all this in the mastermind. If you want to start a business, you already have a business. I know a lot of you are already in, but if you're going to watch this and like, even if whatever you are, I don't care if you already have a business or you're entrepreneur, a healer or not. If you want a good life and you know there's light inside of you and you want to share your light in the world, that's why I said light worker, because light worker can be any field, it doesn't matter. And you also want six figures. So I'm teaching about six figures, but if you already are like there and you want to go into seven figures, then there's a different mastermind. Um, to answer your question, Faye, like do you think patterns ever leaves or changes as we grow and expand? What I learned from Bashar was till we don't know, it's a pattern. Till we're not aware of it, right? The moment you get to know this is a pattern, okay, you become aware of it. So that's why it's very important to always become self-aware, because nobody's checking your patterns. You are aware and go like, oh, hang on, these are the filters. Your patterns are literally the filters through which you're looking at reality, right? And so the moment you recognize it's a pattern, and if you still do it, then it's a motherfucking choice. Let me be very clear. That's what I've learned from him. The moment when you're not aware, we're not aware. We're not aware of the pattern. The moment you become aware, you got to now learn to become unavailable to it. You have all the resources. But if you now repeat it, I guess I'm not at that point to change it. No, it's a choice. It's not a pattern. It's not a pattern. It's a choice. Okay. I'm going to leave you with this. Ouch. I know there's this ouch, and I was like, let's just leave them with this ouch. um, okay, there's something beautiful somebody wrote. I just want to read that. Oh, you guys are so beautiful. Thank you so much. You're yourself. I know you're real because you're authentic in your energy. And I wasn't always like, I really have to share this when we get onto the mastermind calls. Um, I think this is the biggest thing I learned from my mentors. Like one of the masterminds I went to, I paid $14,000 for one day. It's not always about money. You'll be like, yeah, she's talking about, no. I had to put all that money I didn't have. But you know what I learned in that one day? Not six figures and files and all that I got that I never really used. I learned one thing that changed my brand. It's always that one thing. That's why invest in yourself. You will be blown away with what happens. What I learned was give yourself the permission to be you, because when you actually do that, you're going to blow up your business. And that's when actually my business started changing, because I was trying to be someone else. I was trying to be what the industry was. Show up like this, be successful, fine tune your messaging according to nail your ideal client. All of that is fine. But like, if I am not myself, I will always have this weight around my shoulders. Oh, this is how I've got to portray myself. This is how, I've got to always tell them I've cracked the code. No, I have, but you will receive me more when I'm myself. So the thing is to give yourself the permission. You know, everything that you don't want to tell your clients, show up on the internet next 7 days and show that. Show your dog. Show who you are. Show them. Show your messy hair. Show them how you roll. They don't want to see perfection. They want to see authenticity and see what happens to your offers then. Right? Okay, this can't be a mastermind call. I'm getting off, you guys. All right. I will see you inside the Bougie and Abundant Light Worker Mastermind. Okay, the emails did not go, but they will be going out today at some point. I know. And then the call starting next week. So you'll have all the details, and the bonuses are insane. And if you want to join me for this weekend's training, the quantum activation facilitator certification, and you really want to dive deep into creating healing and abundance, you're welcome to DM me. And for those of you in, I'm excited. All right. Thank you. Can't wait. Love you guys. I'll see you another time. Bye.